Hello dear students, welcome back to this class. As for today class is concerned, we will size our wing to lift the weight which we have estimated in the last class. Okay. So what was the total weight of the aircraft? 1238 kg. Okay. So in order to lift that weight, we have to size the wing, and there is a many method available in the literature, and many paper has been published for a wing sizing, tail sizing, etc. Okay, but here we will take very simple method to size the wing. Okay, so what are the parameter associated with the wing? One is span, from tip to tip distance is called span. Okay, and one is wing chord. This is a wing chord. You can see in this stuff you have a one chord at root, we'll call as a root chord, and one chord as a tip, it's called tip chord, and in between root chord and tip chord we'll be having mean aerodynamic chord. We will discuss where it is located actually. Okay, and wing area obviously, and this is a typical aircraft. You can see this is a wing, this is the aileron, this is a horizontal stabilizer, this is elevator, this is vertical stabilizer, this is rudder. Okay, so and this is a propeller. Okay, and this is a body of the aircraft called fuselage. Okay, now we'll start with the wing loading. For example, now we have already estimated the weight, and since we are designing some kind of aircraft which is uh, kind of general aviation aircraft, you can consider. So we can go back to the literature and we can see the wing loading, and we can take some wing loading at this stage. Later, if the requirement is not meeting, we will change this value, but as of now we can consider W by S as 70 kg per meter square. Okay, this is kg per meter square. Okay, wing loading we have selected 70 kg per meter square. Okay, so now if you put this value, then you will get S equal to 17.68 meter square. Okay, so this is area of the aircraft which we are interested to design. And also from the historical data you take aspect ratio, it can be 12 also, it can be 15 also. If you are a glider, it can go beyond 20 also. So in the present case I am taking aspect ratio 10, and if you put aspect ratio which is b square by s, you can calculate b, which is coming 13.28 meter roughly. Okay, and aspect ratio is the ratio of two side. One side I am considering as a b, and another side I am considering as a c, and if you divide c and multiply by c, you will get b square divided by bc. B into c you can denote as a wing area, equivalent wing area. Okay, okay, now b we have found out. Okay, you can use this relation c bar equal to 2 by 3 cr 1 plus lambda square divided by 1 plus lambda, where lambda is a taper ratio, ct by cr, ratio chord at the tip and chord at the rate at the root. Okay, so this is root chord, this is tip chord. Okay, so what is the use of tapering? Because most of the lift is generated towards the root section, so you can have a more uh, area at the root and less area at the tip, and this way you can reduce the weight of the aircraft also. Okay, now what is the area of taper? S by 2 equal to half b by 2 cr by ct I have written, right? So one side area, if you consider, it will be s by 2, and 1 by 2 height into sum of the parallel line. What is the one parallel line? CR, and other is CT. Okay. So if you use this relation, okay, you will get CR is 1.56 meter. Now if I know the value of taper ratio, then only I will be able to find the tip chord. So consider this taper ratio is 0.7. Why I am considering 0.7? Because 0.7 is a number at which you will give the very good lift distribution. It has been found from the researcher that 0.68 around taper ratio is good for a lift distribution. Okay. Now if you have a CR and lambda, you can calculate C bar, mean aerodynamic chord, 1.34 meter. So we have calculated the mean aerodynamic chord, but we don't know where we should locate it. Okay. So now you can locate the mean aerodynamic chord by using this expression b by 6, 1 plus 2 lambda divided by 1 plus lambda, which is turned into 3.127 meter. Okay. So from the root, locate this mean aerodynamic chord uh, uh, at a distance of 3.127 meter as denoted here. So now this will be the roughly your wing. This is root chord, tip chord, this total span 13.29, and wing aerodynamic chord 1.34, and the location is y equal to 3.127 meter. Okay. So this is a typical architecture of the wing look like. Later we can change also when you do the optimization and all. Okay. Now using this wing, you have to lift the air total weight, right? You have to balance the weight. So you can write lift equal to weight half rho, which is lift is half rho v square s into CL, and you can put the all value. For example, like a W, you put 1238, convert into Newton, and then as of now you consider the rho 1.2256. Later we will derive the atmospheric property, rho density, P pressure, T temperature, when we discuss about the extended atmosphere in the upcoming lecture. Okay. And this is v stall velocity, that also we will discuss in aircraft performance part later in this course. And this is a CL max, which is I am taking here 1.4. So why I am taking 1.4 in the aircraft performance course or basic aerodynamics lecture, I will tell you CL is lift coefficient and V is a velocity. When you increase the lift, your velocity will drop. Okay. From the lift equal to weight equation, right? CL is inversely proportional to V. Okay. So now when you increase CL, your velocity is going down and down, and at one CL where the CL is maximum, you will having a this velocity is called stall velocity, which is nothing but the minimum speed at which you can the sustain level flight. Okay. Now you will have a stall velocity of 28 meter per second roughly, but it is not recommended to fly at a stall speed. So I am taking a 30%. So that means 1.3 into V stall, which is coming around 36.78%. Because if you take a V stall, you will be flying at a CL max condition, and this condition, if something gust and all, it will come, aircraft can go to the stall region and you will fall. But since we don't want that case, so we will fly little higher than compared to the stall velocity. We have sized the wing to lift that weight, okay, which we also estimated, which was approximately 1238 kg. But can you make the flight possible with only wing? If it is yes, then no need a tail. Tail is not required. But if not, then tail is required. Okay. So in next couple of minutes, I will tell you what is the importance and why we need to size the tail. Okay. So we will see wing alone configuration is mostly unstable. Okay. And to have a stable flight, CG should be ahead of the aerodynamic center. Okay. we will see. Okay. So when I see stability, so you have to understand the term, what do you mean by actual stability. Okay. So here in this class, I will give the little feel for the stability, but in the aircraft stability and control part, I will do the detailing. Okay. So consider this: if you disturb from this side or that side, it will try to return to the equilibrium position, right? Stable. So inherent tendency to return back to the original position is called stability. Okay. And in this case, if you disturb, it will not return to the original position. Okay. Or you take the simple pendulum, if you disturb from the equilibrium point, it will return back to the original position. Statically stable. Okay. And if the pendulum is inverted, it is an unstable case. Okay. So what I said, CG should be ahead of the aerodynamic center. But here, if you size the wing, your CG will be somewhere here, right? So you have to bring the CG to this point ahead of aerodynamic center, or you should take the aerodynamic center behind the CG. And if you want to put the CG this side, you have to put lot of mass. Unnecessary, the weight of the aircraft may increase. Okay. If you put the lot of mass here, aircraft weight will increase. So it is not a logical solution. But you can put the aerodynamic center behind the CG by taking the sweep back. That is how the flying wing aileron configuration is flyable. So in the first case I have drawn here, which is CG is behind the aerodynamic center, and second case is CG ahead of the aerodynamic center. So in both the cases, if you give any disturbances, okay, this case and this case, the lift will increase. If, as long as alpha is positive, alpha is the angle of attack, which is the angle between call dyne and free stream velocity is the angle of attack. Okay. Now if you give disturbance with the alpha, the lift will increase and the moment about the CG will be the clockwise. So when you increase the alpha, lift will increase and it is a like unstable case. Okay. But here if you increase the alpha, this lift vector will counter, because this alpha increases, aircraft will try to pitch up, and here lift increases, it will counter. So this case is a stable case. But how to achieve this? So we will achieve this using the tail. Okay. So first we need to size the tail. What should be the tail size? Okay. So from historical data, you can say the tail area is approximately, you can take 15 to 20% of the wing area. Okay. So here I am taking 20%, so you will get horizontal tail area is coming 3.56 meter square. Okay. And if you take aspect ratio of the horizontal tail, you will get the span of a 3.76 meter. Okay. And now as you size the wing, same formula applicable here. You use mean aerodynamic chord relation. Horizontal tail is a small wing only, na? So sizing procedure remain the same. So here you will find out the mean aerodynamic chord, root chord, tip chord, span, everything. Okay. So here you are getting mean aerodynamic around 0.9, tip chord you are getting around 0.7. Okay. And root chord you are getting 1.106. Okay. So this is how your horizontal tail will look like, and you can position the mean aerodynamic chord using the same formula. Here you will put BHT instead of B. Okay. I will get 0.884. Okay. Up to this point, tail is sized. But where you to place? For example, you have sized the tail. Where you should place here, there, here. Okay. So we have to look this point also. Okay. So generally, for example, here this is a lift and this is a tail, and the distance between center of gravity of aircraft to the aerodynamic center of the tail is called tail arm. So that decides how far you should place the tail from the wing. Okay. So this you can decide by using this tail volume ratio. So tail volume ratio is horizontal tail into LT, some kind of volume you are getting, right, into divided by S wing area into C bar. This is tail volume ratio. Okay. Now have a feel for this number, tail volume ratio. Okay. So I have listed many aircraft here. Okay. The reference is also given here. You can go and check. So one is Cessna 172. The tail volume ratio is 0.6. Okay. And consider the fighter aircraft F-18. F-18 is this only, this model only. Okay. This is 0.49. So you can see this Cessna has a more than compared to the F-18, because F-18 is not more stable aircraft than compared to the Cessna one. Okay. So that means if the tail volume ratio is more, your stability will be more. In that sense, you can develop some feel for a tail volume ratio. Okay. And mostly for a stable aircraft, generally it is good to consider 0.6, 0.7, and if you go beyond 1, if you go beyond 1, it considered as a highly stable regime. Okay. Like a Airbus jet transport is a 1.11, very stable aircraft, right. So now from this VH which I have selected 0.7, the LT is coming 4.69. Okay. Okay. So if you have a CG, you can place your tail using this tail arm which we have found out, LT. Okay. So now this is a typical position of the tail will look like. Okay. And how will you find the CG, how will you locate the CG, and there is a one more term will define the later. This is called neutral point. That means if you remove the tail, you are having only wing, so aerodynamic center of the wing, which is typically located at C by 4, is called aerodynamic center. And when you place the tail, your aerodynamic center will shift towards this direction, and that point will be known as a neutral point. So neutral point is nothing but the aerodynamic center of the complete aircraft. In that sense, you can have a feel for that neutral point. Okay. So now you can see that CG is ahead of the aerodynamic center. Here aerodynamic center means neutral point only. We will discuss this neutral point in detail when I will cover the aircraft stability and control part of this course. So thank you very much.